What if I told you that the smartest manipulation you'll ever face doesn't come from a boss, a politician, or a salesman? It comes from a lonely old man, 3 kids, and a handful of coins? This little-known story has been quietly changing the way psychologists, coaches, and top-tier business leaders think about human motivation for decades. And by the time this story is over, you will never look at rewards, passion, or your own daily drive the same way again. Stay with me, because the twist at the end of this one hits harder than anything you've seen on this channel. There was once a quiet neighborhood at the edge of a small American town, the kind of place where the streets smell like freshly cut grass and the evenings stretch on forever. And every single night, right outside the home of an old man named Walter, a group of neighborhood boys would gather to play, loud, wild, and full of the kind of energy that only children truly possess. They hollered, they chased each other, they laughed until the whole block could hear them. Walter had lived alone for many years. And though some might say those boys were a nuisance, Walter was a man who thought carefully before he acted. One evening, instead of closing his windows or asking them to quiet down, he stepped off his porch, walked right up to those boys, and did something completely unexpected. He told them he loved it. He told them their energy, their noise, their laughter. It made his evenings feel alive again. And then he reached into his pocket and handed each of them a crisp $1 bill. "Come back tomorrow," he said with a warm smile, "and I'll pay you again." The boys couldn't believe their luck. The next evening, they came back louder than ever, whooping, shouting, putting on the greatest show of their young lives. Walter smiled, nodded, and paid every single one of them again, just as he promised. But this time, he handed each boy only 50 cents. The boys shrugged. Still a deal. Still free money for doing what they already loved. On the third evening, Walter shuffled out to meet them once more. He looked a little tired, a little apologetic. He explained that money had been tight lately, reached into his pocket, and gave each boy just a dime. 10 cents. The boys stared at the coins in their palms, with disbelief written all over their faces. And then Walter looked at them with kind eyes and said gently, "I hate to ask this of you boys, but do you think you could come back tomorrow? Just for the fun of it? No pay. Just like the old days." The boys looked at each other, then back at the dime, then back at Walter, and one by one they shook their heads. "No way," said the oldest one. "We're not running around for free." And just like that, they walked away. They never came back. And Walter Street was finally quiet. Here is what Walter understood that those boys never did, and what most adults today still haven't figured out. The moment you attach an external reward to something you genuinely love, you slowly begin to love it less. Psychologists call this the Overjustification Effect, and it is one of the most quietly destructive forces in modern life. When money, likes, approval, or praise become the reason you do something, your internal fire begins to go out. You stop doing it for joy. You start doing it for payment. And the moment that payment disappears or shrinks, so does your motivation. Think about the people in your own life who burned out at jobs they once loved. Think about the hobbies you abandoned the moment they stopped feeling worth it. Think about the creative dreams you shelved because the algorithm didn't reward you fast enough. Walter didn't steal the boys' fun. He just reframed it, and in doing so, he taught them, without a single lesson, to stop trusting their own hearts. The most powerful thing you can do in your life is protect the things you love from being turned into transactions. Guard your passion. Guard your curiosity. Guard the version of yourself who would do it even if no one was watching and no one was paying. Because that person, that inner drive, is worth more than any dollar, any like, or any applause the world could ever offer you. If this story made you stop and think, even for a second, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share what this parable brought up for you. What is something in your own life that you may have turned from a passion into an obligation? Your thoughts and your honesty mean the world, and they are genuinely what gives this channel the reason and the fuel to keep creating content like this for you. Every single comment is read. Every single one matters.